Greetings and welcome to my home. I'm Peter Updike, and tonight on the YouTube video I'm going to answer a question that someone had messaged me, a question about being a new hunter. He asks, I'm an adult, what kind of rifle should I buy as a newcomer to deer hunting in Florida? Caliber, type, or do I need a scope? He has a question mark there. And I'm going to attempt to answer that question today. I really appreciate all the comments that I get on the YouTube video. You know, when I started out making the YouTube, I really didn't know where I was going with it. I didn't know if I wanted to do videos from the welding shop or do videos from hunts or about hunting. I really didn't know what I wanted to do, and I kind of aimlessly, experimented to see what worked, and I just kind of fell into doing the hunting because it's a passion that I have, and I love hunting. I love the outdoors. I love doing anything that puts me in the outdoors. So I thought we'd go ahead and make our YouTube video about hunting. So I do some stuff at work, and most of the time maybe it's hunt related. Like maybe a deer lift or a tree stand, those sort of things. I made videos for those. So one of the comments that I got on the YouTube video, I had made the comment that I hope that maybe what I do on the videos would be inspirational to somebody. Somebody might be inspired. And right away I got a response, and the response came from Russell Rich. Russell Rich writes, "Thanks, because of you, I took my first Ocala buck last year. I've lived in the area for 38 years and never hunted Ocala till I saw your videos. On the first sit, I shot a 7-point buck. Thank you." And that just inspires me, that somebody saw my video and decided to go out to Ocala after living there all these years and basically ignoring the place, and went out and was successful. I wouldn't expect that kind of success every time, but it's rewarding, and it's kind of led me to where I am today. This sort of comment and questions where I can help somebody, inspires me. So I think I've got a lot to offer, and thought I'd go ahead and take a chance and put myself out there. So that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to answer the question on rifles, calibers, and scope. I'm not an expert, but I have years of experience deer hunting all over the country, and wanted to go ahead and address this question and see if I can help this guy out. First of all, if you're going to be a new hunter in Florida, and you were born after 1975, June 1st, 1975, you will need to complete a hunter safety course before you can get a hunting license. I don't want you to go out and buy a rifle and spend a bunch of money and then find you've got to take the course and you'll have to wait another year. So you'll want to get that done and make sure that you have your hunter safety course, get your license, get that secured, figure out where you're going to be hunting, and then go shopping for a rifle, okay? Now, I've spent a lot of years buying firearms, purchasing different guns. I've made some mistakes along the way. I've bought guns that really are no use to me other than they take up space inside my gun safe. I like having them. There's something about being a hunter and owning a rifle that kind of go hand in hand. There's kind of a mystique to it, right? And then you get a little personal history with every gun that you own, and you go hunting with it, and it kind of gets webbed inside your spirit. So there's something magical about owning a rifle that you're going to go deer hunting with. So if you're going to buy a rifle for the first time, I would put some thought into it. Okay, I would think about what kind of caliber you wanted to hunt with, what type of rifle you wanted to hunt with, and I'm going to go ahead and start at the beginning. When I was a young man in my early 20s, I didn't have a lot of money. In fact, I lived paycheck to paycheck, and didn't have a lot of resources. But I knew I wanted to go hunting. I'd been hunting ever since my teenage years, and I had lost my rifle for reasons I won't get into. I had lost a rifle and needed to get another one. So I cleared my plate, went to the gun shop, and I found one on the used gun rack. And it's this rifle right here. This is a Springfield World War I 30-40 Craig. I bought this rifle in 1982, and I hunted with it that first part of the season. I bought it at Ammo, Tobacco, and Firearms for $40, and I killed this deer with it. Okay? At the time, it was the only gun I could afford. It's got no scope, it's got peep sights. The story behind this rifle is that somebody probably brought it home from World War I. And then they had it sporterized to make it into a deer rifle. And somehow it made it onto the used gun rack at Ammo, Tobacco, and Firearms. And there I purchased it again for $40. And it made perfectly good sense for me to buy this gun. And I used it the first couple of seasons there, and like I said, I killed that deer with it. This is not a good example of what I would use if I was going out to buy a deer rifle. This particular rifle here is very heavy. It's very cumbersome. The action doesn't work well, but it serves its purpose. It's got some strange safety features, and the bolt is a little odd. But it's a part of my own personal history, and I hate to say it, but I love this old rifle. And I usually just keep it here at the house, and I'll hand it down to somebody someday, right? Okay, so I bought this rifle. This is a good example of what not to buy, okay? You can't put a scope on it. It's a very large caliber. 30-40 Craig is a 30 caliber bullet, but it's like I said, it's a large caliber. If you went out to buy a box of ammo for this rifle today, it would cost more for the box of ammo than what I paid for the entire gun. Not a good example of what you want to go shopping for, okay? Alright, so, rifle number 2 would be my Marlin 30-30. This is a carbine 30-30. I bought it like in 1985, and I've had it ever since, and I've killed a lot of deer with this nice little gun. This is a great gun. I've got it fitted here with a Redfield scope and good Redfield mounts. You'll want to you'll want to spend as much as you can afford on a scope. I would not go deer hunting without a scope, okay? I would not buy a deer gun and consider not putting a scope on it and hunting over with open sights. There are drawbacks to hunting with a scope. One could be the fog. One could be smoke. Rain, moisture, depending on which scope you get, are affected by the weather. But there are far more pros than cons when it comes to a scope, okay? In Florida, deer have to have 3 points or better on one side or have a 10-inch main beam to be legal. If that deer is out 75 yards, you certainly can shoot that deer. But you may not be able to tell what kind of antlers it has. You know he's got horns, but you can't tell. Well, that's where the scope comes in. You dial that bad boy up, right? And then you'll be able to look through the scope and see what kind of antlers that deer has, okay? This is a Marlin. I love this rifle. It's a 30-30. 30-30 is a great brush gun. I'm really not too sure about ballistics. I would think that you could probably shoot a deer out to 100 yards with this gun, maybe 125, 130 yards. But beyond that, it gets a little sketchy. You need to become familiar with your rifle so you know what kind of bullet drop it has. But a 30-30 is a fine deer rifle, especially here in Florida in the brush country. So I've killed, like I said, I've killed my fair share of deer with this rifle. Okay, I still hunt with it today. I like it. Alright, I got another rifle here that someone gave me. They gave it to me. I was an employee at B.E. Dillard Grove Service back in the 80s. And I was given this rifle by Barney Dillard. He owned a gun shop as well. And this is a Winchester Model 94. It does not have a scope on it because it's a top ejecting round. I use this for my hog hunting. I like to hog hunt with this gun. This is not a good example. Even though you can kill a deer with this rifle, it's chambered in Winchester 375. It's like a cowboy cartridge, okay? It doesn't have a necked cartridge. It is a straight cowboy cartridge. This is like a cowboy gun, and it's kind of cool. I like the history of the Winchester Model 94. I like having one. It's a great gun, but it has no scope. I'm not sure what the range is on a 370. That's a big slug bullet. Okay, and I'm not sure how much drop it would have. I've killed my fair share of hogs with this gun. I use this for my hog hunting if I want to go out and do a specific hog hunt. This is the rifle I take, and again, I shoot it with open sights. All right, but this is not a good example, even though you can kill a deer with it. of a good deer rifle, if you were only going to shoot with one rifle, which would it be? It wouldn't be this one. I wouldn't reach for that one. Okay? Alright, so those are lever actions, and this is a bolt gun. The next one we're going to talk about is an automatic, okay? An automatic rifle for deer hunting. This is another bad example of a deer hunting rifle. This is a Ruger Mini 14. It's chambered in 243? 223. It's a 223. And it's a relatively small cartridge, but it's very, very fast. This particular gun isn't real accurate. It's accurate enough to hit a deer, but it doesn't pinpoint shoot. It doesn't drive nails. It's kind of over around the target. Okay, you can hit an 8-inch target at 100 yards with it with the open sights, but beyond that it gets a little sketchy. Thing about automatic guns, automatic rifles, you're not allowed to use a large capacity magazine while deer hunting. Okay, this comes with a 3-round clip, and then one in the chamber would be 4 rounds. Okay, so it would be legal to hunt with this gun as long as you didn't have the large capacity clip. I have several clips for this rifle that are large capacity, and if you got caught hunting with that, well, it wouldn't go well for you. Okay, but this is made by Ruger. Ruger makes a great gun, but it's not a good example of what you want to use if you go deer hunting. Okay, even though it would kill a deer just fine, it just isn't my go-to rifle. Okay, I enjoy having it. That's a Ruger. These brand name guns, anything with the Ruger name, Winchester, Marlin, are all great guns. Okay? Alright, so we're going to continue with deer rifles. We did the bolt action, lever action, automatic, and a pump gun. Alright, this is my Remington Game Master. It's a pump gun. It's really heavy. It's chambered in 30-06. And that's a great cartridge for deer hunting. A lot of guys like the 30-06 round, but this gun is heavy. This gun is noisy. This gun has a very heavy trigger pull. Okay, we'll get into trigger pulls here in just a minute. I love this gun. I've bought this gun because it's an old gun, and they're pretty rare. And I liked it, and I saw it, and I'm just like one of those guys at the gun shop, you know. Finally had to say to myself, no more guns. But if you like a pump gun, it's very quick to reload. Bang, bang. You know, that's an advantage over the bolt gun. And it's a cool rifle, and I like it. Again, it's a Remington Game Master. I think it's a 742. Game Master Model 760 is what this is. And it's a good old gun. I like it. It might have been made before I was born, and I think that's cool. I like those guns. All right, now we're getting down to brass tacks. You can hunt with that gun, but again, it's got a heavy trigger pull. Now, what does that mean? When I purchased a rifle, and I purchased one for deer hunting, it took me a few years to figure out the reason I didn't shoot well is because these other guns have heavy trigger pulls. Okay, when you purchase a rifle, you want to find a rifle that has a good, crisp, clean trigger pull. A trigger pull that has very little creep, no creep. All right, let's just say no creep at all, and fires with very light pressure to the trigger. All right, in my opinion, the best rifle you can buy that comes from the factory with that asset would be a Browning. This is a Browning Medallion, and I bought this for elk hunting, and this gun is as big as me. It's not very practical to use in the Florida deer woods, but I use it as an example because this rifle comes from the factory with a very crisp, very smooth trigger pull. If you're sitting in your tree stand and you've got a gun rest, and your deer is out at 300 yards, you'll need to be balanced, you'll need to be set, you'll need to be still, you need to be focused, and have that crosshairs right where it needs to be in order to shoot that deer at 300 yards. You're not going to want any pull, you're not going to want any movement, you're just going to squeeze the trigger and bang. Straight out of the box. Brownings come chambered in 308, they come in chambered in 30-06, every brand under every bullet brand under the sun, and you can buy a Browning rifle, which would be a great rifle to buy. They're a little pricey and they're a little expensive, but they come right out of the box with a great trigger pull, and that's what you'll want. I've never deer hunted with this. It's just too big of a gun for me to hunt with, but it's a great gun. Okay, I'll take it elk hunting. I've only taken it elk hunting one time, and I've been elk hunting with my bow. All right, so my next to the last go-to, all right, is my Ruger 30-06. All right, I've got it fitted with a Leupold. It's a bolt gun as well, and my Ruger 30-06 is a great rifle. It's fitted with a Leupold scope. It has a good, crisp trigger pull because I took it to a gunsmith and I told him I wanted to have a good, crisp trigger pull. I wanted it to go off with little pressure. This is an old gun, and I don't know, it probably was made before I was born. But I like these older guns. I like the wooden stock. We'll talk about wooden stocks for a minute. If you go shopping for a rifle, you're going to find that a lot of rifles are made with what's called a composite stock. They're kind of like plastic or polymer. All kind of different styles and brands out there for their stock. What you want is you want a floating barrel. What's that mean? It means I can take a piece of paper and lay it underneath this barrel and slide it between the wood and the barrel all the way down, and it will never hang up. If it starts to hang up, well, you need to pull that barrel off and sand down the inside of the wood until that paper slides all the way down. Why? Because you don't want any pressure of a wooden stock on your barrel. You want your barrel to be free floating. Okay? This will ensure accuracy out in long distances, out in long range. So what happens is, if you're hunting in bad weather, snow, rain, and the gun gets wet, and the wood gets wet, and it starts to swell. This is not something you can see, but it happens, and the gun starts to swell, and the wood starts to swell. It'll put pressure on the barrel, and if you shoot at a target 300 yards out, well, that can affect the outcome of the shot. So you want to keep your wooden stocks free floating. You want to check them from time to time, and make sure that there's no pressure between the stock and the barrel. But this is a Ruger. I don't know what model this is. This is a M77, chambered in 30-06. I've killed plenty of deer with this rifle, and it's a great gun. Very accurate, very dependable. All right. So here comes my last go-to rifle. This is the one that's at the top of my list. This is a Remington Model 7, chambered in 7mm .08. It's fitted with a Tacks scope, and I've got this sling on here that I got out at the gun shop at the bargain counter. I think I paid $5 for that sling. Put it on there. Man, I've killed a lot of deer with this rifle. I've had a trigger job done on this rifle, so it shoots at about 4 pounds, 4.5 pounds. The gun goes bang, and it's got a good safety on it, good crisp safety. I like that. And it's just an all-around great gun. I've had this gun probably, I don't know, 25 years now, and it's never let me down. It's just a great, awesome rifle. So those are my guns. If you're going to buy just one gun, you're going to have to ask yourself, what is it that you want out of a rifle? Do you want style? Of course. This gun has a lot of style. This gun has a lot of history. I like this gun. Okay. Do you want the antique look? That's cool too. So these are things to consider when buying a rifle. I like a bolt action gun. If I only could choose one of these rifles among these, this is the one that I would choose. It's chambered in 7mm .08, and it's a great rifle. Now, real quickly, before we close, when you buy your rifle and you buy your scope, gun salesman is going to tell you, we're going to bore sight that for you. All right, what does that mean? It means they're going to put the scope and mount it on the rifle for you, okay? And then they're going to put a device in the end of the barrel. And then they're going to look through the scope, right? And they're going to line up the crosshairs with the device that's stuck in the end of your barrel. They're going to bore sight it. Some guys bore sight it by opening the bolt, pulling the bolt out, looking down the barrel, and then lining the crosshairs up with a target that's further away. That's fine, but it can never ever take the place of sighting in your rifle. Buy 2 boxes of ammo. Go out there and shoot your rifle. Get comfortable with it. Shoot it sitting down. Shoot it standing up. Shoot it from your tree stand. Find a place where you can shoot, and make sure your gun is sighted in. When you go out, I went out with a buddy. In fact, it was the guy that published my book, and he had a 30-30, and he had it bore sighted. And I told him, I said, you need to check it at 25 yards. And he went out there at 100 yards and put up his milk jug and shot at it 3 times and missed it every time. I said, Bill, man, you got to bring that thing in. You got to sight that rifle in. He thought he knew it. He thought he knew it all, but if that had been a deer, it would have been ugly. It'd have been an ugly shot. So when it's bore sighted, that's great. It puts you on the paper, but that's all it does. You're going to need to sight your rifle in, okay? All right. So this is another buck that I killed. I killed this deer in the Withlacoochee State Forest. He's a mainframe 8-point, great deer. He's got a kicker right here that's broke off. Got a kicker right here. I call him side tine because this brow tine right here somehow grew sideways, and I thought that was kind of cool. I killed this deer on a Friday afternoon after work. I took off work early and got in my tree stand. It was like, I don't know, it was probably about November 14th or something like that. And I killed this deer probably, 15 years ago. I shot him with this rifle right here. And calibers, 30-06, 308, 375, 243. What matters is shot placement. If you shoot a deer in the guts, there's a chance you won't recover him. You need to shoot the deer through the vitals, just above where the leg enters the body. Okay? You'll need to go online and find out good shot placements and study and practice. Okay? Shot placement is everything. The bigger caliber doesn't always put the deer down. These are wild animals, man, and they're survivors, and they want to live. They don't want to die. So they'll run away when they're shot, and then you won't find your deer. So shot placement is everything. Through the vitals, become a good shot, become an experienced hunter, become an experienced marksman, and experience comes through hard times, and you'll make mistakes, but the worst mistakes we make are the ones that we don't learn from. We want to learn from our mistakes and continue moving forward. All right, I appreciate all of you that watch on the YouTube video. I'm really enjoying doing it. I'm enjoying all the comments. I'm enjoying all of the input, and it's just added a feature to my hunting that I'm really enjoying. So keep the comments coming, and I really don't care how many subscribers I get. All I care about is that I help somebody. And that guy that messaged me and said that he killed a deer in the Ocala National Forest because of my video, well, I might be stuck doing this for life, because that's a great reward. I really appreciate it, and I love doing it, and I love all you guys. And hopefully we won't see you in the woods. Get out there, and you can stay on your side, and I'll stay on my side, and we'll all get home safe. Okay? Love you guys. See you. Bye.